What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? Long time no see, huh? Yeah, don't worry, I ain't forgot about you. White had her kidneys removed and stuff. Things have been real hectic, you know, just haven't really had a whole bunch of time for you two, to be honest with you. Until about last week. As you may or may not remember, about 2 years ago now almost, I think it was November 15th, I put a video up about a little girl and her family that was being harassed by anti-hunters. This is something I'm going to address again today. Last week it was brought to my attention by the very guy who made the video himself that there is a vegan response video to it. Now, that's all fine and dandy. As I stated in the opening scenes of the video, you're allowed to be vegan. I never said that was wrong. But if you're going to argue me, come with facts. And one of the first things I'd like to address is my title. Now let me get this straight, Mr. Thunder Bay Personal Opinion Trainer. The title of my video was Anti-Hunters Pick on Little Girls, which is what you did. And that's what you're doing right now with your response video. And no, you didn't hurt my feelings. That wasn't the name of my video, nor was it anti-hunters are mean. You actually kind of pissed me off. And my reasoning is ridiculous. You're the one that seems to think it's okay to support illegal activities as opposed to legal activities. As in harassing and sending threats and death threats to a little girl, illegal. Hunting, legal. Not to mention calling her an abusive, murdering child for following and living her dreams is child abuse all in itself, both mentally and emotionally, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? And if I'm Rip Van Winkle, what's that make you, Impotent Rage from the GTA 5 cartoon series? I think so, buddy. And then you go and say there isn't going to be any fish left in the oceans in the next 50 years for our children to fish because of beef cattle and frickin' hunting. Are you kidding me, dude? Latest North American actually studies prove that hunters and fishermen are the largest conservationists and environmentalists on the planet, dude, and contribute more than anybody else. And they also show one of the biggest problems of dead zones and fish shortages in the ocean is caused by people who are consuming all these synthetic textiles and pleathers and yada yada yada. Look at places like Indonesia, Thailand, Pakistan, China. They're all dumping their shit right into the frickin' oceans, right into the rivers. And we all know you guys are one of the largest consumers of synthetic textiles and other products out there on the market. Look at Saucony, they got their own shoes called the Bullet. Vegan shoes. That's a whole lot of plastic that's going to end up in the oceans again. And then you go on to say about 3 or 4 times within your first 10 minutes of your video, slandering my name by saying I commit and promote cruelty to animals, which is a federal offense, dude. Are you kidding me? Come on now. I put too many hours into archery practice making sure I hit the sweet spot to ensure that animal is dispatched as quick and humanely as possible, man. Again, you're spreading disinformation. You know nothing about hunting. And by the way, yeah, I was quite devastated about the comments, dude. Because they weren't, you know, addressed to me. I wasn't devastated because of any of that. It's quite obvious you're trying to skew my point of the video. I was devastated because you little bitches that think you're anti-hunters and spreading propaganda were attacking a little girl and her family. Over 5,000 death threats were sent to that family and people went to jail over it. What don't you understand about that? And what the fuck is this about blowing animals' heads off? We're teaching them to blow animals' heads off, and you said yourself in the video that, what, the word crossbow at least once. What kind of fucking arrows do you think we're using? Fucking RPGs or something, dude? This is my target bag, which I practice at 30 yards. You see a fucking head on there, you loser? Like, come on, man. Common sense. Again, you're spreading more propaganda and disinformation. Bingo, motherfucko. Hell, I'd even like to fucking see you try and shoot my bow, and it's only set at 63-pound draw weight. Bet you can't. And even if I were a trophy hunter, wouldn't blowing its head off defeat the purpose of keeping the trophy itself? Or maybe you'd like to make a video explaining how arrows blow heads off, because I just don't get that, buddy. I'm only a bow hunter. I don't even have a real gun, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you're just so full of disinformation, aren't you? Typical vegan. Oh, wait, what? Then this moronic douchebag goes on to say we don't need to control the deer population. What? By any means, whatso frickin' ever. And with you being in Thunder Bay, Ontario, with a population of 113,000 people out in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere, where if you go any further, you pretty much gotta hunt, or you're gonna be paying out the ass for your food. Like, you should know, man. Seriously, you should frickin' know that we hunt to sustain what nature can't provide. And what do I mean by that? What I'm saying is, even around here, and the first thing you see when you Google or YouTube, why does the deer population and herds need to be managed, is because where they choose to, you know, live, there's what's called a holding power, you know? And that means the holding power is what the area, the land can feed. So, in theory, we're not killing anything that nature can't, you know, provide for. These animals are starving to death once they reach a point where that holding power of that land can no longer feed them. And if you Google it, or YouTube it, the first thing you see is 30 or 40 videos come up with different examples. There's examples of islands where the deer walked out at low tide through a sandbar, and they had to literally do a cull on it, because the deer just ate them out of house and home, man. The deer were literally starving to death. And you know that happens up there because you're in Ontario, Canada, and you get harsh winters too, man. You know this shit. Come on now. You and your disinformation. So yeah, we're just simply taking what nature can't provide for, dude. And that's just proven fact. You can try and refute it all you want by skipping studies and stuff like that and ignoring them, but, you know, I'm throwing facts at you that I researched right now, buddy. And as long as vegans, hunters, everybody, all humans are destroying habitat to, you know, make do for our population, which is on the food chain, which has evolved to the point, and it's not my fault or your fault that we evolved to this point to be able to be hunting like this. At the top of the food chain, buddy. Like, come on now. So as long as we're destroying habitat, the deer herds and other animal herds, wherever they may be, are gonna have to be managed. You're living in a house in a city. You're just as guilty for destroying habitat and killing animals as any hunter is. And you yourself can't prove that climate change is because of humans and hunting and all this other kind of shit. Because if you did, or you could prove it, maybe you could make a video explaining how the Grand Canyon evaporated before the invention of the automobile or any factory farming even existed. Or maybe you can explain why NASA's latest footage of the ice caps and ice fields is thicker than ever before and explains why it is that way. And if I cared, I would go vegan, huh? How about no? Because then I wouldn't be a part of any, you know, group that supports the abuse of children or spreads propaganda on a level that fucking Hitler was on. And oh, here we go with the propaganda. You say, well, let me give you a little bit. I did a little bit of research, and you guys say things, and I even seen in one of your other videos you saying beef farming and beef cattle is responsible for eating 88% of the Earth's and humans' corn supply. You, Mr. Thunder Bay personal opinion trainer, obviously have never heard of cattle corn or even silage, huh? Total mixed ration or anything like that? I think you should go out to a cattle corn field, pick some cattle corn and boil it for fucking 3 hours and then see if you can still eat it. Moron. Disinformation again. And another piece of propaganda. You guys say you're not responsible for killing animals with your food. This right here is a bean field that I hunt on. This bean field is just like any other bean field on this property. That's all that's here this year is beans. And they're all going for tofu. There goes a buzzard. See them, guys? Hopefully I got that. But anyways, they're all going for tofu. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you think animals aren't killed in the process of harvesting beans or wheat or anything like that, you've obviously never been there to pull animal parts out of a frickin' harvesting header or harvester after a week of harvesting, have you? And that's not to mention all the people that can get what's called a farmer's license, and that allows them to shoot deer out of season because they're growing crops like soybean and wheat and barley and canola that's going for things like seitan. You know, you guys are responsible for killing more deer out of season than any other fucking poacher would ever be. Just because of that reason, because there's a lot of deer shot off the soybean and canola fields every year. Everything from frickin' wild turkeys and their poults, deer, everything, man. Rabbits, groundhogs, foxes, coyotes, and their pups. They all get caught in those headers, dude. And you need to quit lying about that. Because I know for a fact I picked them out of a header before, man. Only a misinformed little jackass like yourself, Mr. Thunder Bay personal opinion trainer, would think that comments directed at a 10-year-old little girl that are publicly shaming her. You just didn't see all the death threats, and there was over thousands, and there was at least 5,000 threats sent to that little girl and her family, and only an idiot like you would think that those were great fucking comments. You know, I'm starting to question your frickin' stance as a father, you idiot. And then again, you publicly slander my name by saying it, you know, me and every other hunter out there, as well as those Thunder Bay natives that you pretend to care so much about. You know, saying we kill animals for no reason, dude. Seriously, man, like I told you in the comments, I don't kill what I can't eat, and I eat what I kill, right? And, you know, I'd like to be there, you know, to see you walk into their band office and call them a bunch of murderers and everything for their lifestyle, which is hunting. You know, like, hunting is so much a part of their lifestyle that they don't need licenses or tags or a season even. They can harvest a deer any time of the season. Like, seriously, bud, you're a poser. You're a fucking joke. Just so you know, dude, my daughter is half Ojibwe, dumbass. And you might want to go and look up the, you know, definition of murder and quit using the noun as though to say one human killing another. Again, your disinformation is just unbelievable. And I am in the right when it comes to exposing fucktards like you that condone violence towards frickin' children. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, come on now. Are you fucking serious? And when I tell you fucktards to leave the kids alone, you come in and you say, leave the deer alone. As though to say, if I don't fucking quit deer hunting, you're not gonna leave our kids alone, huh? And you work with people in public? Seriously? Man, I'm one step short of calling the news about this and putting your ass on TV for it. Straight goods. Bottom line, you might want to go look up what's called the Canadian Charter of Rights and quit infringing on people's rights. Quit picking on little kids that are following their fucking dreams, alright? You know what I mean? And quit being such a fucking poser, you loser. And why am I calling you a poser? Because I don't believe you're a vegan because it so-called doesn't hurt animals. And I don't believe you're a vegan because you think it's a fucking great lifestyle or whatever. I honestly think you're a vegan because studying other videos of yours, you admit quite obviously to being an atheist. And since Jesus Christ was a carnist, you just can't stand the fact. So I think to you, animals not getting hurt and everything like that or whatever, harvesting animals is just part of the act. You guys say you ain't picking on little kids. Well, actually you didn't say that, did you? You're actually making that video condoning it. And you know, I could just imagine how many other kids you bully too with, like, you know, go look on your YouTube channel, you got 5 or 6 other fucking videos on there with little kids on there as your thumbnail, and you're picking on them too. Like, what do? Type in anti-hunter and pick on the fucking smallest channel that you come across, or maybe even the softest target you think? You know what I mean? Loser. Fucking goof. So yeah, guys, I just figured I'd make a response to this idiot. I wasn't gonna, but you know, he pretty much stole my footage and everything, and you know, recreated it and stuff. It's not fair use either, by the way. So I just might report it. You know, I don't know. It's kind of giving me more exposure anyways, and you know, I picked up a lot of support in the hunting world as well. Made a lot of new friends that are honest, outstanding people that contribute to society, unlike this jackass vegan here. And you know what, another thing, I still don't hate vegans, okay? I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm glad people, you know, like I said, I want people to have their own views and points and opinions, and you know, like, live a positive lifestyle, you know what I mean? But under no circumstances can you bully the kids, man. And if what you preach is being a fucking vegan, Mr. Thunder Bay personal opinion trainer, if that's what being a vegan's all about, dude, I don't want any part of it, man. And please keep preaching like you do too, because that's less people, you know. At least the smart ones won't, you know, like follow suit with your dumb ass. But anyways, to my subscribers, I'm sorry, you know, the first video in a while was such a negative one, but you know, if you want to find out who this guy is, go back to my last video called Anti-Hunters Pick on Little Girls. You'll see him there. He left a comment there. He had to actually tell me he responded because, you know, he's got botted subs. Guy's got like over 5,000 subs, and he can't break fucking 300 views a video, and he puts up like 10 videos a week, man. Guy can't break fucking 3,000 views a week with 10 videos. And you know I got a small channel and yada yada yada, but I'm so busy with life I don't have time to do anything, and at least I get, you know, the views I got are half my sub count, right? So fuck this motherfucker. Don't witch hunt his ass, you know, that might just get me in trouble, but it's not hard to find out who he is. Thunder Bay personal opinion trainer. He's one of those guys that lifts weights for 6 months training to lift weights for 30 seconds. Dude, I know frickin' farmers that got fucking 13-year-old little girls, man, that will outwork you in the hayfield all day long and then outwork you in the gym after that. So until next time, motherfuckos, peace! Oh yeah. And leave the kids alone, you fucking goof.